Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to study the remaining constraints, that is primary key, then foreign key, and some other aspects. Okay, so here's the definition of primary key constraint. That means the primary key constraint uniquely identifies each record in a table. Okay, and primary key must contain unique values. It should not contain any duplicate values and cannot be null value. Okay, so a table can have only one primary key, and in table this primary key can consist of single or multiple columns. Okay, so this is about the primary key. We will also have a look on what is foreign key here, because these two are related. So yeah, so the foreign key constraint is used to prevent action that would destroy links between tables. Okay, so suppose if you want to connect two tables with some relation between them, then you can use foreign key constraint. Then foreign key is a field or a collection of fields in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. Okay, so the table with foreign key is called a child table, and the table with primary is called as a referenced or parent table. Okay, so we will have a look on MySQL workbench and we'll solve an example here. Okay, so we'll see primary key and foreign key here. So let's create a table. As you can see, I will be using a test database here, and as you can see, there are no tables here. Okay, so let's use test database here, and then create table, that is sample table we will create. Okay, and then we will use id int not null. Okay, and then first name, which is varchar 255, and then we will use age, that is int. Okay, then we will close the brackets. So this is a simple table, as you can see, but we want to create id as primary key, right? So what we will do is primary key, and we will place it in id. That means here id is considered as primary key in this table. Okay, so if I execute this, we will see a table has been created, and if I see the data here, select star from sample, then what you will see is you will see id, first name and age. Okay, and if I refresh this and if I click on here, you can see id int, it is primary key. pk is nothing but primary key. Okay, so now as you can see, we have created successfully the primary key. Okay, but now we will create a foreign key here. Okay, that means we want to reference this table in another table, right? So that concept you will see. I don't want this, a little extension is needed. Yeah, so let's create another table, that is select sorry create sorry create table. Let's create sample 2 table, and we will have similar things, that is id int and not null. Okay, and then we will have age, that is int, and then we will create a foreign key on this id. Okay, so we will create foreign key id, which is references. We will use references here to the table name, that is sample, and which column you are referencing, that you need to mention. Okay, so this is how you can create a foreign key here. Simple, right? And then we will close the brackets. Okay, you need to place this also in bracket. Okay, so that it should not throw an error. So as you can see, I have been referencing this table, that is sample2 table, to the above table, that is this table, to id, and then I am referencing this as primary key in other table, and this is r key, which is similar to this table, that means sample. Okay, so this is the child table and this is the parent table or the reference table. So you can create foreign key using foreign key, then which is the foreign key you want to specify, that is id in case of this, and reference is sample id. Okay, so if I run this, it will create a foreign key. Let's check the output whether it has executed. Yes, it has created create table sample2, and it has created the table. Okay, so let's check whether it has created or not. Select star from sample2, right? So this is how you create a foreign key, guys. Okay, so it has created id and age. Now let's look into some other concepts, that is the auto increment and the index. Okay, why it is not going down? Let's pull it down. Yeah, so let's consider some other examples using auto increment. So let's go here. So next is auto increment. So if you are creating a key, and if you want to create it increment automatically, that means you need not specify every time insert those key in a increasing order, it will automatically increase it. So you can use auto increment field. Okay, so auto increment allows a unique number to be generated automatically when a new record is inserted into a table. Okay, so often this is the primary key field that we would like to be created automatically every time a new record is inserted. Okay, so auto increment key is nothing but the primary key, which like this field is applied usually to a primary key. Okay, so that it increments automatically. So let's look into the example here of auto increment. So let's drop the table. Now as you can see, if I try to drop this sample table, drop table sample2, it won't drop because it has been referenced by this table. Okay, so if I try to drop this, okay, it dropped. So if I try to drop this table, then it won't drop. That means so I created the sample table again, sample2 table again. Now if I try to drop this sample table, that is just the sample table, it won't drop because it has been referenced by sample2 table. As you can see, drop table sample cannot drop the table sample referenced by a foreign key considered in sample2. Okay, so if you want to drop this table, you need to first drop the foreign key. That means whatever references you have been used in other tables, you need to drop those tables first, and then you can drop the main table, that is parent table. Okay, so that means first I need to drop the sample2 table. Okay, so let's drop sample2 table. Yes, it has been dropped. Then we will drop the sample table. Okay, now I have dropped the sample table here. Now what I will do is I will create auto increment field here. As you can see, id is my primary key, right? So I will increment auto increment here, so that it will apply to id. Okay, so every time I insert, I need not specify id, it will automatically add the numbers here. So let's try to insert some data here. So I've created a table sample. Okay, so if I view the data from sample here, as you can see, nothing is there, right? So let's insert something. Insert into sample, that is column name. Let's take f name and age, just the first name and age. Like I'm not specifying the id here. Okay, and then values, that is f name is, let's take Batman, and then age is 35, something like that. Okay, so if I execute this, it gets executed successfully. But as you can see, I have not mentioned the id here. But if I select the data, you will see the id has been 1. That means it is auto incremented from 0 to 1. Okay, so like that. So if I try to insert another value here, if I try to insert this again, it executed. Now if I select this sample here, as you can see, 1 2 Batman 35, same sample, right? So this is how auto increment is useful in data like creating the database. So next is the index. Okay, so what is index here? So the create index statement is used to create indexes in tables. So indexes are used to retrieve data from the database more quickly than the otherwise. Okay, that means you create index to retrieve the data faster than usual creation of the data. So the users cannot see the indexes, they are just used to speed the search queries. Okay, So as you can see, I will create an index here, but you cannot see the index here. Okay, but I will create it. So create index. So I will give index as age index here. On what I need to create, okay, I will create sample, and then I will use the name as age. So I'm creating it on this age. I'm creating an index known as age index, and I'm specifying the table name as sample, and then the column on which I'm creating the index. Okay, so if I execute this, it will successfully create the index here. As you can see, create index, age index has been created. Okay, but if I see the data from here, you won't see the index here. As you can see, id, first name and age is just there, but even if I create the age index, it is not being seen, but it just created the index on sample table. Okay, so this was all about today, guys. That means we studied about the primary key, foreign key, and then auto increment field, how to use it, and then index. Okay, so hope this helps. If you like this video, do hit the subscribe button. Until then, take care. Bye bye.